Here is one of the best emulation consoles that you can purchase on Amazon that comes with over 100,000 games, and it cost under $100. 117,000 games to be specific. Do you understand how crazy that is? 100,000 plus games for under $100. That's basically the price of one single video game on the PS5, on Xbox, on PC. That is nutty. I bought this thing a few months ago, and I ended up installing a new image from a website called Arcade Punks. And for those of you that are unaware, Arcade Punks and an image for an emulation console like this, basically that just gives you a new interface. However, what you're seeing in the background is the default image that this little console actually ends up coming with. Personally, I like being surprised with the games that these things actually end up coming with, rather than picking and choosing the titles that I actually want to play. And as always, the link to this thing will be down in the description below for anybody that would like to go and check this out or go and purchase it. This is called the Super Console X Cube that has 117,000 classic games on it. I do want to say that this is going to have some filler content there, and you are going to see like 10 to 20 different versions of games like Super Mario, just as a really quick example. But the amount of games on this thing kind of make that irrelevant. In simple terms, this is pretty much going to come with every single game that you could possibly ever want on an emulation console, because the duplicates on this thing are usually different language and different region titles. The most common one that I'm going to use as an example is PAL and NTSC. However, with that said, a lot of those PAL and NTSC games are completely different. Not all of them, but some of them are just totally different games and are going to surprise you. And that is part of the reason that I like these things so much, because you live where you live. You played games where you live. These things come with different region titles, and the NTSC and PAL versions, those aren't always just different resolutions and different frame rates. Some games are totally different, and it's going to surprise you, and that's a benefit of consoles like this. So I do want to say that this supports PSP, PS1, MAME, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and basically every single console that you could think of before the Nintendo DS. I say this because it has 63 different emulators on it. Just let that sink in for a moment. It has a 256 gigabyte SD card. It comes with two controllers that, in all honesty, you're going to want to swap out. I use my 8-bit do controller on this thing because I love 8-bit do controllers, so that will also be linked down in the description. However, if you want to play like the newer modern type video games, 8-bit do does have some other controllers like the PS1 controller that you can actually end up buying that actually have the joysticks and will be better for this thing because of that. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this console is moddable. The Arcade Punks image that I installed on this is a mod, quote unquote, for an emulation console of this nature. I also want to say that this is the newer updated version of this console that is going to come with the S905 chip, and it does support 4K output as well, so that is a nice little benefit. Overall, this is an awesome little console for such an affordable price. I recommend this to all retro fans, not even just all retro fans. Think about the amount of time that you're going to spend playing video games on something like this that costs basically the same price as one title. Even if there's only, 10 or 20 different games, which there's going to be way more than that. Let's be totally honest. Like, that's like less than 1% of the games on this. There's going to be hundreds of games that you actually enjoy on this, which makes up for its low price. That costs basically the same price as one single video game. And this is also something that parents with kids can show their kids that enjoy video games, the games that they ended up growing up with, which is cool. Really, the only bad thing about this is the crappy controllers that it comes with, which I would show you right now, but I've had this thing for a couple of months and I threw them out because I have an 8-bit do Super Nintendo controller, and I also have an Xbox controller back there, which I use. So it's not that big of a deal for me to have another controller that I will be using on it. So yeah, as always, the links to this thing will be down in the description. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out one of these videos that are on screen, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.